All right, so we did it, guys. I managed to turn 3 of my lower time frame strategies into an indicator for TradingView. So not only does this benefit me, because now I don't have to stay glued to the computer and I can set alerts on the indicator, but I can actually share this now with everyone that has been asking me, how can I master your strategies? So now this is going to be 3 of them put together. So this helps you manage to enter trades almost on a daily basis. Everyone knows that I trade US 30, or on the futures market is YM. I only like US 30 or other indices, but I don't dabble with Forex or anything like that. So with this settings that I have, or how I utilize this new indicator that I created, it is specialized for indices. Of course, you can use it for Forex or other instruments, but you'll have to figure out the best time frame for it, which I have mastered it for indices only. So I traded on the 3-minute and the 10-minute. So if you see here on this screen, I have the 3-minute chart on the top, which is US 30 or YM on the futures market. I prefer to run it on the futures market because everyone knows that the futures market data feed, it is regulated by the SEC and it cannot be manipulated. If you trade US 30, like on a regular Forex broker, price can have spread, can be manipulated, so you're not going to get the most optimal entry or exit for the strategy, right? So I like to focus on the futures chart. However, just as a side note, you're also able to trade your regular US 30 account with a Forex broker while looking actively at the futures side of the chart. So you can also do that. I still trade with Forex brokers as well, and I just look at the YM on futures side on TradingView, and I take my trades on the Forex broker. So let's get down to business here. So on the top I have the 3-minute on US 30, and the bottom I have the 10-minute. So either on the top or the bottom, it usually presents a setup on a daily basis. And the thing is that you don't need to know my strategy. Yes, I've been trading for 10 years, so it's a little easier for me to identify the winning alerts versus the losing alerts. I'm able to navigate through taking the wins and avoiding the losses. But the thing is that even with my 10 years of experience and knowing how to avoid losses, the difference between my experience and just taking any signal that this indicator gives you is very minimal. So for example, my win rate could be at any given point at 85% or 80% or 87% because it varies throughout the year. But the indicator, just taking a short whenever it says sell, or taking a buy whenever it says buy, it'll still give you like a 75% win rate or 80% win rate. I mean, as to right now, I released this indicator, I'll say about 3 weeks ago, and we've only had like 3 losses, and we've had wins or setups on a daily basis. All right, so I want to go over a few of the trades that we've had. Here, I have the sessions indicator in the back. It is not 100% correct since it starts deviating the shadow in the back from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. I tend to trade from around 6:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. That's the sweet spot right there. So I like to use this indicator for high accuracy. I like it between 6:30 and 11:30 a.m. That's when you want to really milk all the signals that it's giving you. So now if I look at it, a lot of people say, do I have to stay glued to the computer and wait for that small triangle that says sell or says buy? No, you don't have to. You can just turn on your alerts, and you see, if you guys see here, I have buy signals alerts for the 3-minute, sell signals for the 3-minute, and also the same thing for the 10-minute and the 10-minute. So every time that it gives an alert on the 3-minute or the 10-minute time frame, a sell or a buy, you're able to just go ahead and trigger that entry with your broker and set your stops in TP. If you sign up for this indicator on WAP, which I have a link below, you will see that there is a video in the chat which has instructions. It tells you specifically from what time frame to use this indicator, which is 6:30, like I said, to 11:30. It tells you also little tips on price action, when to take it, when to avoid it. But again, if you just take the trade when it triggers that order, it will have a fairly high win rate. I have students that signed up the beginning of last week and they've been taking every single trade every single day from 6:30 to 11:30, and they have been all winners. No, I am not lying. It has been all winners ever since last week. So I will go ahead. I'll show a few setups that we've had. Today, I took this short here. Right around 7:24 a.m., we had a spike and it triggered a sell, so I entered short. I was on a small drawdown here when price went above the EMAs, and then when it went under around here, it triggered another sell. I took all my positions out at this institutional level. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw this, and you also saw the profits and the arrows for my entries and exits, since I tend to connect my TradingView accounts to TradingView as well. So this one here from today was amazing. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. So if you see here, right around 8:42 p.m., it gave a signal for a long, and it wasn't a bad trade, but it didn't have much volume. But then again, you got to see this here, 8:45 p.m. I mentioned that the optimal time to trade this strategy is between 6:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. This is the evening, not a lot of volume. You want to stay away from that. So you want to follow the game plan. You want to follow the rules that we have in place so you can have a very high win rate. Now, this was the short that we took yesterday. Yesterday at around 7:39 a.m., it triggered a short. So we entered short. We had a small drawdown upon this flush right here. When it hit the next institutional level, we took profit right here. So if you see a little pattern here, the pattern is that we enter when it says sell or buy, and usually at the next institutional level, we start taking profit. And if you want to leave a runner, you can go ahead and leave a runner. You know, it doesn't hurt to leave a runner. So markets have been extremely bullish and making all-time highs the last few days. So that is why I didn't leave a runner on this trade here. I took profit at the institutional level. And also today I took a short and I took profit at the next institutional level for the reason that I want to play it safe. We have been making new highs this last few weeks. All right, so let's keep going back. Let's see what the strategy was giving us here. So again, on Friday, we had a long at 8:39 a.m. We got a long, small drawdown, massive rip. So if you can tell here, you can take partial profits here. You're going with the trend. The market has been making new highs, right? So you can obviously leave a runner for the next institutional level. So this is what I anticipate. The perfect trade is when it gives you a signal. You enter, you take partial profit at the institutional level, and then price keeps going for the next institutional level. So it usually tends to skip an institutional level and go to the next one. So I would have been all out at this point here, even though price did keep flying. But the market likes to usually respect an institutional level, skip the next one, and respect the following one. And yes, these institutional levels or these zones, these horizontal lines that we have here, it is already embedded on the indicator as well. So once you load the indicator on your chart, it would alert you when to buy or to sell. You can turn on the alert so you can get a notification on your screen or your cell phone. And yes, it does have the institutional levels already added to it, right? If you trade other instruments or other indices, on the video that I have in WAP, it does tell you how to amend the settings and use the correct institutional levels for other instruments. So for US 30, for NASDAQ, and for S&P, they all will be different. So let's keep going back and look for a highlighted area. All right, so here we had two trades. If you would have taken this long right here, it would have hit institutional level, so you could have taken profit right here. If you would have taken this short here, it gave you a time to take some profit here at this wick fill. Or if you didn't take profit and waited for more of a downside to your for profit, you could have taken profit a little lower. So I like to have my stops at 50 points, and my TPs usually are around 90 points, right? So for example, if we would have entered right here on the sell, my stop would have been at 50 points up here. My stop would have been right here at 50 points. I almost stopped you out. And your TP, your first TP would have been at 90 points. So it would have been right here, 90 points, right? And the same thing for this one. Stop would have been at 50. Let's expand this here. Your entry was right here. Stop was at 50. It spiked. That was 8:30 a.m. probably news release. It spiked to TP1 before coming down and stopping out at break even your runner. Remember that whenever you take your TP1, you want to move your runners to break even immediately, right? So there were two trades right there. However, it was a very choppy market environment. This was Thursday last week. Nonetheless, we still had two wins. And if you didn't want to take one because of the if you didn't want to take one due to the EMAs being so flat, which is one of the things that I mentioned in the instructional video, that if the EMAs are very flat, you might want to stay away from taking the signals. But it's little things like that that actually keeps you having a very high win rate. So also here on Wednesday, we had an entry at 7:06 a.m. We had a long. We had a small drawdown here, and price went straight for the institutional level. You could take partials here. Remember, market has been making new all-time highs, so you could have left a runner for the next institutional level, and then you had a massive retracement. So if you notice, it has a very, very high win rate, and you can also see very good setups on the 10-minute time frame as well. So test it out. There is a 7-day free trial, so risk-free. Go ahead. Sign up, 7 days for free. Give it a try. If you like it, keep using it. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul, right? So at the end of the day, with those 7 days that you're testing it out, at least you're actually able to learn the strategy as well. It is 3 strategies together that is combined in this indicator. So it helps you have setups every day. So also, this is not an indicator for you to use forever. Eventually, you can learn the strategy and when it triggers the buys or sells, and then you can just be self-sufficient and take your own trades at your own account. All right, so I hope that I get a lot of good feedbacks from everyone. Everyone knows already. If you have any questions, just send me a DM on Instagram at Fibs Don't Lie, and I'll talk to you soon.